struggles of greatness.
Alive, bro.
When it comes to greatness, man, there's a lot that you have to sacrifice. Right, like the hardest thing for me was I had to drop even like everybody that was a bad.
Let's go into that in a minute. Let's just talk about let's introduce ourselves, bro.
Mm-hmm. So my name's Heriberto, and we were both born and raised in Southwest Oklahoma City, and now I'm currently a real estate agent. So how I got there was I really liked entrepreneurship, business. I love business. So when I was in high school, I was getting my associate's degree at the same time. And I always knew I wanted to do business. I always do. I don't know what attracted me to it, but something just attracted me to it. I remember I started watching Valuetainment, and he really made me want to become an entrepreneur. He really was the person that, like, I don't know, I seen it like as something that really just automatically kind of gave me a purpose. It's like, whoa, like I can achieve like greatness. I just got to work at it. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I just started working towards it, and getting better and better every single day. And I started studying different people, Robert Greene, Sun Tzu, Grant Cardone.
Who's your
Robert
favorite?
Kiyosaki. My favorite?
Yeah.
That's tough. So Robert Greene, I love all his books. Like with his books, I'm literally excited when he comes out with a new book every single time. I just love Robert Greene, right? But Robert Kiyosaki, I mean, he influenced a lot of people that influenced me. You know, with that grow a tree. When you buy a house, you kind of grow a tree, and then when you grow a tree, that tree plants seeds, and then it goes more trees with that cash flow.
Yeah.
When you kind of flip a home, you kind of have to cut that tree off and then find a new tree that you can go and then build and find new deals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And I was taught this way. And with real estate was definitely Robert Kiyosaki. But Robert Kiyosaki, you gotta remember, it changes your whole mindset when I read that book. So it pretty much teaches you that school is set you up for a 9 to 5.
Yeah, like right? You need to be told what to do.
Yeah, like it literally, like you literally see everything. It changes your whole perspective on that. And I was a senior, you gotta remember. So I was like, man, I don't want to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? like I have my associate's degree right now, and I'm not using it at all.
Yeah.
You know, because it was diversified studies. Like a lot of the stuff. I mean, I'm glad I did because I feel like it did build me discipline. But at that moment, I was like, like, what the heck? But I mean, it did teach me a lot, because I was a full-time college student. I only had one high school class. So I was only like a part-time high school student.
So I had
a part-time job. Yeah. And I had 16 credit hours, man. Like, I had 16 credit hours and a part-time job.
That's tough.
That was tough, but I feel like that taught me a lot of discipline. And when I was at work, I was just putting in AirPods. Well, not AirPods, but headphones.
Yeah.
And I was just, I was listening. That's why I listened to all those books. That's why I listened to Valuetainment, who changed my life, man. So like, I wouldn't go back and change it. I don't have no regrets about nothing. I'm a very happy person because I don't have no regrets. All this stuff happens for a reason, man.
That's a great outlook on life.
Yeah. So go ahead, man.
I'm Joel Ortiz, and I studied business finance. I got my bachelor's. Took me 4 years to do it, so usually most people aren't able to do that. So I really pushed through and worked hard to make sure I got that 4 years out. And also, a main goal of mine was to graduate debt free. So
you did that?
Yeah. I was working
Give this man a
time.
round of applause.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know how hard that is.
Yeah,
like a lot of people, man.
But yeah, I was working full time and really busting my butt. Wow. Between just work and homework, and also like me, I'm always in the basketball gym. So I was doing that, and
man.
While in school, I moved out, and I got up out of my mom's house. I wanted to. Honestly, there wasn't the room for me in there, so I just took that opportunity to get out the house. So I moved out to Edmond, got my own place. I lived in Bryant Place, if you ever heard of it. It's just like. Kind of like off-campus dorms.
Oh, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Is it on Bryant Avenue, right?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking
about. But I was living there, and I didn't have no game. I didn't have a TV. I had a phone, but but I would just lay there. Like at night, I would literally just lay there and like think about like, man, what am I gonna do? Like man, I'm really here. I moved out. I'm growing up. Like, I remember being just a little kid, not having to worry about anything.
Huh?
Yeah. So I was just like, a lot of the people I would meet at Brian Place would just be in a partying and drugs and stuff like that. And I would just be to myself in my room. I had dirty roommates and stuff, and I would just be in my room, like, laying there, just, man, like, what is my passion? What am I interested in? So in this time, I'm still trying to figure out who I am, and I'm still in that process. But like, in this time, like, I got on YouTube pretty heavy. I didn't have the game, or I didn't have TV and cable and all that. So YouTube was basically my cable. So I got on there and I started, like, it just started off just learning about investing. Like, I've always been interested in investing. And just through that, like I kind of started getting an idea of what I was interested in, which was...
So who, sorry to interrupt you, but who did you watch at that time?
Around this time, like, I would just YouTube specific questions. So what to look for when you're investing, or like what
just
are
the
good
basic
stocks,
knowledge,
and just stuff like that. And it would just be based off of whatever I searched. But then eventually I did run into Graham Stephan, and his videos stuck out to me. So I'm like,
I gotta check out Graham Stephan.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully he'll be right here one day.
He will be watching.
But yeah, I got into his videos, and I really liked his content. Like, it stuck out, and like the ideas and words, like just the things he would talk about just really stuck out to me. And then I fell across like other YouTubers like Andre Jig, Meet Kevin. But between those three, I really got into like just learning. And then like, you know, everybody hates school when they're in school. So I was just one of those kids, like, man, I do not like learning. I don't like doing work. But then, like, through those YouTube videos, like, it was so interesting, and what I realized is that I'm learning. Yeah. So, like, I just started developing that hunger for, like, wisdom and knowledge.
That's good, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I got here, just always interested in learning something. So, sometimes I'll be up at night, I'll be down, like, a whole rabbit hole, just random, like, I'm over here learning about neurons in your brain and stuff. Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I had that happen. Yeah, I've been doing stuff like that too, man.
Just get so deep into it because you're so interested, and I'll look up and, oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m. and I got a test tomorrow.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's just kind of how I was. How did we meet?
So, man, I don't know exactly. So I knew you off my brother, and you were Adrian's brother. So I knew you like that.
So I'm Ruben's age.
Yeah, so you're my big brother's age. So you're like, he's 24.
I'm 23.
23? Yeah, so you're my big brother's age. And your little brother is he 19 or 20?
Yeah, he's 19.
19?
Yeah.
He's like a month, I think I'm like a month older than him, or he's like a month older than me, something like that. But I mean, he was like my best friend, so that's how like I first got introduced to him. Well, like, not really, right? We didn't.
Yeah,
really,
like we
knew
we'd
of
see
each other. Yeah.
Like, sometimes you'll come through and pick up Adrian or something like that, and I'll just, that's Adrian's friend picking him up. I wouldn't really think of it, but it's just crazy, like, how life works out, because like here we are now. Yeah. Like, we never really talked, and then literally the past few days we've just been hanging out, and here we are starting a podcast.
Now we starting a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
But you impressed me that day. We were at Starbucks. This man brought out, like, I told him I'm in the podcast. This man whipped out the notebook and literally, so how do we make this happen? And I was so impressed by that. I called up all my friends when I left, and I'm like, man, this man is on to something.
Oh, so, man, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, man. I'm just trying, man. I've been on the road for greatness for 2 years. Like, just improving myself every day, every single day. And, man, once you're in it, man, you see a lot of improvement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell a lot with yourself, man. Just the way you carry yourself and the knowledge that you have on different aspects in business and everything. Like, a lot of people won't like this stuff. Man. Yeah. A lot of people won't like you're in the brokerage right now.
With my shirt tucked in with some slacks on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that says a lot about you, and especially the networking of it. I know you were nervous, you said, right?
Yeah.
Man, I remember the first times, man, I went over there. I was so nervous. Wow.
Yeah, I would really work to get my name seen, and he would tell us to network at his events. That's where I was going with this. He would have us network at his events, and like, he would walk up to me and a few other of my friends that I knew in the class. So we're all sitting together at this event with a whole bunch of strangers, basically. And hey, you guys get up and go network, and like, we're all like looking around like, what do we even say? Yeah. So like, we were all nervous. We didn't really understand the importance of networking. And so now, last night, like, I was actually all the way up until last night, like I still never had that fundamental understanding of networking. So
wow, man. So what did you think about last night,
bro? It was great, bro. Like usually, like that was basically a party, bro, and I'm not a party type person. Like going around, everybody's drinking wine and. Hey, how are you doing?
They get messed up in the networking events.
Yeah.
Man. All that's all. Like it's Friday. The realtors are out there getting fucked up right now.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, that was a great experience, and I really appreciate you letting me tag along with you. But but
you know, we all help each other as a community, man. That's exactly what you saw yesterday, man. We're all helping each other as a community. We're all growing, and you know. That's our goal.
Yeah, I was impressed by how open and outgoing and supportive those people are to strangers. Like they've never met these people in their lives. And that one guy was talking about how his businesses failed and stuff, and like his advice and his takeaways from those situations and experiences he's been through. So that was a great experience for me.
Yeah, what they do is I like that because a lot of they already had those experiences, you know what I'm saying? So I always ask them when they fail, I ask them what's wrong. Yeah. Because I'm, you know, like there's no way a business could fail if you didn't do nothing wrong. So I always ask them what is wrong, and I try to avoid those mistakes. One thing I'm telling you, a lot of stuff that I'm like, you're gonna face this, and this. Those might be just words coming out of my mouth, but you won't really get it until you experience it. Yes. Trust me, you won't. Like my mentor, he tells me a lot of stuff like this is gonna happen, and I don't really
like you're not able to fully take it in.
Yeah, I can't conceive it fully conceive it until I experience it. I'm like,
you just gotta be there. Yeah,
that's exactly what he's talking about.
Did you think they were gonna like when we walked in and the staff like? Did you think they were gonna feel any type of way about that? Like I kind of thought when you were gonna tell them they're gonna be like, like that's what you're doing up here. Like you didn't have any.
No, I was just gonna explain how I didn't think there was nobody was in the conference room, but you have to reserve this, but there's nobody here. I thought they were gonna do a podcast. No, but everybody's cool. This is the thing. It's like, you know, we're all like, the culture about this company. I love it, man. Like everybody's so open. Like they're your friends. Like they're literally your friends. Like I don't think of it like these are strangers. Like I know them by name, even though they know me. Sometimes I did a lot of cold calls, but. Like really, man. Like you seen the conversations, man. I had like conversations with people that I've never seen, like I never met before.
And you sounded pretty good doing it too. Like,
thank you.
Man. It was almost like you're a pro at it.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. For real, I'm flattered, man. I'm trying to work at it, you know. But it's exactly that, you know. They're all cool people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like that's a reason why I wanted to actually start the podcast is because like a lot of people don't have those supportive, motivational, and influential people in their lives telling them they can do that. So a lot of people just don't have that in their lives, and through this podcast, like I really think we could influence some people. Like we could probably spark a great mind. You never know.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Like really, when you think about it, like you don't even know who could be listening to this.
It's crazy, huh? Yeah, but it's just the start of greatness, man. This is all we all just have to keep working at it, man. Everything when you start, man. It's just the hard work, and then you start seeing the results out of nowhere. It's like, wow.
You just gotta get past like the intro.
That pain period, man. You just gotta get past that pain period. But I look at the pain period beautifully. All the pain period is beautifully like habits. It's all habit, you know. Like sometimes we might be like, I might want to push it back. The podcast, we have to be disciplined and stay consistent with it.
Even when you're nervous and you got that little gut feeling like,
somebody got to push through it here.
They're making fun of us. We're in here doing this.
Nah, no, I don't think nobody is, because it's a different environment, man. So
I don't know though. That like even like we both instinctive, like we know they're not doing that, but just still like it's us in our head judging ourselves, like.
So that's interesting that you bring that up. Actually, I got all that I tried to get all that removed, man. Especially consciously. Unconsciously, it might be. I never even thought about that because I don't know, man. It's all the environment that your environment is very big. That's why I eliminated all like people who even think negatively. You know. Yeah. And I like everybody has negative thoughts sometimes, but like. Those people who are just negative all the time.
Yeah, but like you got to be able to put those negative thoughts past, and like that's like an exercise within itself. Like you got to grow that muscle to be able to do that.
So you can get that by you can do affirmations. Have you done affirmations before?
Isn't that just like basically in like the simplest terms, like setting goals?
No, affirmations, or you just telling yourself things like automatic, like repetitions. You're getting repetitions. So the science behind it is your unconscious mind doesn't know what you're telling it.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever. Like this doesn't think for itself. Really, that's the animal mind. So if you tell them whatever you want, you'll start to believe it.
So that flashes me back to like college, because I couldn't really remember, but one of the things I was really into, like it just fascinated me when I heard it and like actually tried to understand it, is the law of attraction, and that's basically what you're describing there.
Yeah.
Is
so
that
what happens if we dive down to the law of attraction is whatever you believe, you start to achieve. Like, you know, if you really believe it. So the only thing holding you back is yourself. And so, as Alexander the Great said, "I know the enemy, and he is I." That's the biggest enemy you have. Because who can stop you? Who can stop you from greatness?
Yourself.
That's the only person. Because like life is only, I can't remember the exact percentages, but it's only a few percent of what happens to you. What happens to you? I see. We started flowing. We forgot there's a camera there. So what happens to you? Right. So that's only a few percent. I think we'll just do the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
20%,
Yeah. Perfect.
Right? We'll just do the 80-20, and it's 80% of your reaction.
You'll always have what you have because of who you are. So if you continue being that same person, like if you're expecting
you reap the habits. You reap the habits of the person who thinks like this and whose actions. Yes. So if you break it down to a science, that all goes down to character. So, what is your character, right? It all has to do. It has to do with habits, which you do on a daily basis, and morals. Like, who are you? Like, that makes your traits.
So in habits, are you touching like also in like environment as well? Like,
so no, environment's another one. I didn't even think about that one. Good catch, man. Good catch. I didn't.
No, I didn't want to correct you or anything, because habits, like, you could have leaned that into like environment too, because like when you think about it, like those people around you are kind of like habits as well, like your friend being negative and always using negative words and negative manners and stuff like that's basically a habit.
Nah, so habits are what you do. So environment is like anything, like, you know, your environment. Yeah, external. No, habits are what you do on a daily basis.
All right.
This is more internal, like your traits, your morals. So, yeah, I wrote down my morals, like, you know, I can't, don't be disrespectful, you know, and you have to follow these morals no matter what. They're called non-negotiables.
Like whatever the thing, like it's kind of like always do the right thing even when nobody's looking.
Yeah. So you have to do those non-negotiables, and you have to follow them at all costs. So like, don't disrespect. Like, for example, lie.
Yeah. Take advantage.
Yeah, take advantage, or like always be with honor. Just stuff like that, man. That all boils down to your morals or traits. Excuse me. Your habits are what you do on a daily basis. So what do you do? So for example, me, I wake up at 5 in the morning, so I can develop the habits, and we'll all go down. We'll break it down to character. So we'll do backwards. We'll go backwards. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be great, right? But what kind of? I want to be a great businessman, a disciplined man. I want to be inspirational. Yeah. So how can I get that character, right? Yeah. So what would that person do? That person will have certain types of morals, right? And you develop those morals, and then that person will have different type of habits. So that person is not going to be drinking. That person's not going to be staying up all night partying. That person's not going to be like
all over the place.
Yeah,
like pretty disciplined. Yeah. Like, just statistically speaking, like a great person, like let's just imagine like some random great person, just for the example, like that person might have like a great laugh, a great handshake, a great walk. Yeah. Like a great theory on life, great perspective. Just like a great person shows, like they have clues, like they show clues.
They have habits. Yeah. They have habits of the great personality. Like you can't have this personality without doing all this stuff.
That character and that character development.
So right now we're building because we're so young. Right now we're building
that growth stage.
Yeah, we're building a lot. Like, you know, we're building, because imagine you in 5 years. You know, if you just keep following this, like, imagine. Like, wow, huh?
I mean,
Like,
bro,
I want to disrupt the whole industry.
the whole world, bro. Change the
Yeah,
world for the better. Like, be written down in textbooks and being taught to class for, like, the great thing you did to help impact the world.
That's what I want to do, man. That's why
For
my
sure.
purpose is greatness.
Yes.
You know, all that, it all boils down to greatness. Because, for example, if I have a habit like, oh, I want to sell, if I want to net $1 million, right? What do I do? So if I'm like, all right, you know what? Look, I'm like, I'll net $1 million. Right? I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll net $1 million. This is my goal. This is my life goal, right? Pretend. Then what do I do after this? Then after this, what happens is when people have a goal like this, if they just go downwards. Because they already, it's like, you know, like...
Yeah, they achieved it,
have,
like, what's after that? What's next?
Yeah.
And usually people don't think beyond this. Like, they're stuck here, and then once they have it, like, well, I did it all. And then, like, a lot of people...
have a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm going to work, and I don't even like my work. Like, I don't like nothing. Like, they don't have a purpose. You know, they don't have a reason to wake up in the morning. So, it's all the purpose is the reason. So, my purpose is... my selfish purpose is greatness. Like, it literally is just greatness. Like, you can't, you know, you can always keep grinding with that.
Yeah.
And it's also helping the community. That's also a really big one, especially the Hispanic community. And even entrepreneurs that, you know, pass down knowledge, just because I was given so much knowledge and help throughout my life, man, that, like, I have to pass it on. I have to pass on the blessings.
Yeah, and if you even if you step out and like step back and look at it, like, that's how we got to where we're even at. Like, we're inside of a freaking building with electric lights and internet around us. Like, that would have never happened if we weren't, like, passing knowledge down and, like, always pushing ourselves. So that's, like, really, that's huge for humanity. And like, it's great that we're able to do that.
And then it all goes down to desire and all that stuff. But this is why I wake up in the morning, man, because I have that purpose of the goal of greatness. If I strive away from it, then I'll be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is, I'm happy every day, single day, because I'm like, I'm getting, like, I love what I do, man, and I'm striving to my goals. So
yeah, I want to point out, like you said, you're like, you love what you do, like, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it's been a while. Like, I've had points in my life to where, like, I was stressed. Like, I would wake up and I wouldn't feel very well. I haven't had that feeling in a while. Like sophomore year of college, freshman year of college, I haven't felt that feeling since then. Like, every day I wake up, like I love life. I'm happy, and like I just got that drive to push.
Man. That's good. For us. So we'll go down. We'll go backwards from that. So how did you get there?
It was basically like I told you, I'd sit in my room and it was just like a quest, like, you know, on the games of Zelda and stuff. Like, it was just up to me finding out who I truly was and what I'm into, what I like.
So what are you into? You're into
finance, sustainability. I want to say those are two of the largest ones, but then also, like, happiness. I actually got these 4 L's I came up with. Like, I don't know if this was more of, like, to learn something, but the L's were, like, you gotta live it, you gotta laugh it, you gotta lecture it, and then through all that, you're able to love it. And then those are my 4 L's. I actually wanted to dive in and have a book about that one day. So that's just in the back of my head to pull out one day. Yeah, I came up with that one day just in my notes. I was just thinking of, like, podcasts. And, you know, when you watch the podcast, I don't know about you, but I watched, like, one of the first podcasts I got into were the Minimalists. And, like...
that sounds familiar, but I don't think I know.
I mean, bro, it's literally the name, like, Minimalists. They try to teach people to take their love out of things, because that kind of leads you back to the purpose and stuff. Like, you could strive for that $1 million, and once you have it, you could buy anything you want. Like, you might tend to feel a little happier since you got the money to do whatever, but, like, the money really can't buy your happiness. Is really that purpose and, like, that the goals you set. And they, like, through their podcast, they try to teach that to people. So yeah, they opened up my eyes, and, like, they have something similar to that, to the 4 L's. Like, I don't quite remember what it is, but yeah,
it's like a little similar. Like abbreviations kind of.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So I just think that's pretty essential if you want to be like a podcast and public speaker and writer and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta have like a little model where everybody can refer to. It's like, this is your brand right here. This is part of your brand.
You have them 4 L's. Kind of like in finance class, I learned about the 3 C's. It was credit, capability. Like when you're applying for a loan, the credit, the capability, and the capacity, or capability, or something like that. You got to be capable to pay off the loan. You got to have the credit to get the loan, and then you got to have the work experience, which the competence. That's the other word. So competence, credit.
Work. Yeah. Man. But so what do you recommend from somebody who can't get a loan? What would you recommend? I know that's a tough question to throw at you.
Hey, no, that's good. That's the kind of content we need.
So what do you think?
Honestly, I think learning a new skill should be at the top of the list.
Learn a new skill?
Yeah, because you could put in more hours. You could touch 60, maybe even 70 hours a week at your job. But, like, that'll only do so much, and that'll be a lot of wear and tear on your body. Like, usually most people who work aren't working in a job they love. So that 60 hours would be really tough.
That's sad, right?
Yeah.
Think about it like it's security, right? It's security you're chasing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, I think learning that new skill maybe you could learn about real estate, or you could learn some coding or something. And that could really that could really shift your paradigm.
So we go down to that, the market. So every reason why you're paid is what the market thinks you're worth.
Value you're providing.
So for example, if you're a McDonald's employee, how much skill does that take?
Anybody could do that. Right? You could teach your baby sister how to do that.
Yeah. So the market is asking what, $7.25 here in Oklahoma for it? That's what the market will
probably. Let's assume that.
Excuse me. So that's what the market is playing for no skill labor. No skill labor. Now, when you go to, tractors not tractors, forklifts. They're asking 17 right now for it, 15.
Yeah, probably even all the way up to 20. Like it's a trade.
So 17 to 20, right? Skill labor. And then when you go to welding, it gets bigger and
all
bigger,
the way up to 30. Yeah.
Until like this, what skills that we're building right now. Imagine how long it'll take somebody to build these skills. Imagine, that's why we're worth so much in the marketplace. That's why.
Because we're providing value. Like somebody, like we're probably not even thinking about this while we're talking, but somebody in 10 years could be watching this very conversation we're having and really get value from it. And who knows what we'll have out by then, but we ain't got to tell them, but shoot, we might have a book, we might have some public talks or something, and they're probably buying tickets to come listen to what we have to say.
Most definitely. So we just keep getting better every single day, man. That's the goal.
Because like you could start off at that 725. Everybody got to start somewhere.
Yeah, everybody does.
But it's just about not being content with it and always trying to push and having them goals. Because if 725 is your goal and you're able to achieve all your goals and be happy, be with your family, like you're able to do everything you desire, then that's okay.
That's okay with them. But the thing is, a lot of people, the thing that gets them is comfort.
Yeah.
They're like, because it's uncomfortable, man. It's like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, pull it up here, worried about how today is going to go. We're about to shoot a podcast, like just that. Like, I was uncomfortable.
So, I think I'm getting more comfortable being uncomfortable because I didn't have no doubts at all. Like, not a single doubt creeped in my mind, man. Because I've been uncomfortable so many times. Like, I'm literally like, at first I was like, I'm 18. Like, I'm gonna sell these. People bought like how many houses, and they're asking for my expertise and everything. But you just get used to it, man. You're like, I'm uncomfortable every time. It's comfortable. It's comfortable for me to be uncomfortable now.
Hey, I want to be like you when I grow up, man.
It's just practice, man. Reputations.
I'm kind of self-conscious, so just people hearing me, that kind of intimidates me, I guess.
So what does that make you intimidated? Why?
I don't know, just I guess the environment I grew up in, like people so judgmental where I'm from, bro. Like you'll get made fun of for anything, so I guess it's just me
And your brother was a notorious roaster.
Yeah, bro, he learned that from me. So yeah, that's where I came from, and I guess deep down, like that's a part of the reason why, like we all roasted each other and stuff. Yeah, so look, he's over there trying to work on himself, and then that's the joke now. So
no, I know exactly what you mean, but so this is where I'm at now. It's like, why do you care about that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like it's really not providing anything but a burden on my shoulders, and it's just carrying a weight on my head.
It'll just take time.
Yeah,
it just take time. Man.
Honestly, I just think it's because like I haven't like even being through school and stuff. Like in school, I wasn't really social. Like I've always been a hermit, stayed in my room.
Yeah.
Besides the gym, of course, but other than that, like I've never really got out and met people. So
and it's tough at first. You're like, wow, like these people are just talking to each other and everything. But yeah, man, I mean, you get used to it, man. It's like second nature now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting pretty good. Like I practiced on the video a little bit. So
you were smooth, man. Yesterday, I couldn't tell that you were like nervous or anything.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous, bro. Like, like sometimes I'll be talking to them and they're like their freaking eye would twitch or something. I'm like, So yeah.
Oh man.
I'm just trying to like keep going and pushing through with like. I guess my problem is like. I guess not really a stutter, but that pause or that break, like that really gets me.
Why?
Like, I don't know, like
for you?
Yeah, like just imagine like that line and then it just stops and then you pick up the line again.
No. So what you do is you don't pick up that line. You make them talk right after that because they're gonna get uncomfortable and they're gonna talk. That's exactly what Taylor Davis taught me today. I mean, he literally had his script planned down. He like, look, what you're gonna do is you're gonna. And he had a whole sentence, and he was like, and then he had this behind. He's like, you because he was for one example. Let me give you an example. He's like, so are you looking for that time limit or? And you just don't say nothing.
Yeah.
And they'll pick up and they'll finish the sentence.
Yeah. I kind of use that in when I talk. I kind of use that like what is that called? Like a leading. It's like
it's
a leading
open-ended question. It's
that's what it's called.
So you do this, and just don't say nothing, and they'll finish it. They'll talk. It's like a tennis. Hey, boom! You put it in their side, and then boom, and then boom. That's how conversation is, man.
We're gonna have to do like it doesn't have to be a whole. I mean, we could do a whole episode on just like that, like just talking about like. Because we could compare it, like it's basically character development, which is life, and there's motivation within that, and that's mindset. So we could probably make some content on just like I'm pretty sure we could dive deep, on just conversations and like how to talk to people and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I always, how to win friends and influence people. Man. That was.
Is that book?
No, this is another one that I had to read. This is a customer service book.
I thought that was the book for some reason though. It was kind of like the colors kind
of. No, it's not. It's like white and red. But I gotta let you borrow the book, man. You gotta shoot me a text.
I mean, I do got Audible though. It's just a matter of like, listening to it on commutes and stuff. It might take a little bit to listen, but I mean, honestly, I could just listen to it throughout the day while I'm doing what I need to.
You have to listen to that book, man. That book, oh my God, man. It even teaches you like leadership. Like it's just how to talk to anybody. Like for example, how to talk to people who you're like their manager or something. For example. Yeah. Like how to tell them. You don't tell somebody, "Hey, go do this."
Yeah, of course. That's not like you gotta be like a leader, like a leader, bro. Like you can't blame, you can't accuse, like you gotta use words like we. Like you gotta lead, you can't.
And you have to take blame for it if you're
yeah.
You can't blame be like, oh my bad, I didn't teach you this. Like, what the hell? Like, why are you doing this?
And like a lot of people, like there's 50-year-old managers out there that haven't yet to even realize this yet.
And it's crazy, right? It's because that all goes back down to their skills. That's why they're working at Walmart. And that's why they're not. That's why they're not like a executive.
Like even they might be working towards it, but they haven't realized like it takes these attributes and skills
that you can all build. All these are all buildable, like sociable.
It's just a matter of getting out there and trying to. I was gonna try to fill up that blank.
So man, it's all those skills that you can build, man. Everything, isn't that beautiful? You can build any skill.
Yep.
That's beautiful, man. But people don't want to put in the time to do it, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. But just don't expect to reap the benefits of somebody who is. You know? That's all I ask. You know, you can't.
I mean, but honestly, like let's talk to this person who works at McDonald's at $7.25 an hour. Like, they don't know what skills to work on. Like, we told them skills. That's pretty generic. Like, that's general.
That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah. So, like you said, bro, leader. Like, being a leader, that's providing value. You're leading somebody.
Man, that's one of the biggest skills to have. Man.
So, just working on personal development and leading.
So, how do they do that? So, for example, communication is big. We're social creatures.
Huge.
Communication is big. I recommend to anybody How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's the one book that will teach you how to talk to anybody. Like, for example, what would you say to this person right here, and if he works for you and he dropped the camera?
Man, like, you can't get mad at him and yell.
You can't get mad.
Really, like, try not to show up any upsetness. Like, it's just like that's a thing. That ain't a human. Like, it ain't like a person got hurt.
Yeah, it's just so.
It's a replaceable object, so you just got to know how to approach that situation. Like, like, it might really hurt your heart to see your camera fall. But like, man, at the end of the day, the world's not ending.
So I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but make it personal. Be like, I made those exact same mistakes. Think about it, like, somebody said this to you, like, I made those exact same mistakes when I was. But what I would recommend is how you're supposed to do it, how you improve.
Yeah, that's like comforting.
That's how you're supposed to do it, man. You know, you're not supposed to be like, hey, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, bro. Yeah.
You can't be personal about him because he's gonna take it personal. He's gonna do a worse job. He's not gonna improve his job. Like,
and don't put the blame on him or them.
Because think about it, he's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be like, I'm gonna do this perfectly. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, we've all been there and had like the bitchy boss or the rude teacher. Like, yeah, we've all been there, and that person, like, in our head, like, we did not like that. So it's like, it goes back to the golden rule, like, treat people how you want to be treated. And
but if you're a leader, you also can't be very passive.
True.
You know, you have to set. So it all goes down right there. You know, it's all the training, the work in office, so you can get the culture. Right. You get the culture, you get the standards, right? You get the standards, so if you got so think about it like this, if you have the habits of training and working in the office, you got the habits, right?
Yeah.
For doing that. But guess what? You also got the environment, right? And then when you have those two, one of them is the standards and being kind and integrity. That's the traits and morals. That's all how to build the character.
Yeah, and then after, it's all up to showing up.
Yeah, man, there really is. It's all to the dedication and discipline. But think about it, that's all they have to do. Like, I'm just breaking it down to a science.
Luckily, that was even there. We got to add that up in there.
Yeah,
retention.
So, yeah, man, that's just really how.
But bro, we gotta work on building a culture, bro. Like, we're working on the training right now. We're in the office. We've showed up. We gotta work on this culture for our podcast, bro.
Our culture is.
How would you describe our culture? Like, what does that even mean?
So
how do you interpret that?
So open, we're an open culture. You know, so for example, what's our culture? What do people expect when they come in here? Like, what's our, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of, so what would like our guests expect? They would first of all, great treatment. So let's write this down. So
yeah.
So we'll go ahead. Culture, right? So what do they expect when they come in? What is our culture? So our culture is within us is hardworking, right? This should mean hardworking and consistency. Right. So of course we want to be hardworking and consistent, right? To make this podcast happen. That's just between me and you, our culture.
Yeah.
Our culture when we bring a guest in, now, what would they expect? I mean, I can't just think about this. I had to really think, like deep think. So what about what would a person expect?
So are you talking about like our third person guests or like our guests who are watching it?
Both.
So I think something really that sticks out to me is learning. Like, this is really a learning environment.
Yeah, it is. It's a learning.
Even us talking about this, like, we're still learning.
Yeah, we're learning just talking about it.
So back to my 4 L's, we're living it and lecturing it right now. Also laughing it too. We had a few laughs, and honestly, we both love what we're doing. Like, bro, time's passing like. I ain't
Fast,
checked
and
the
we're
time or nothing, and before we know it, I'm gonna have to get up and set the camera back. So, yeah, learning.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a curious culture. Then, right? We're curious about different.
Curious, I like that.
We're curious about. You know, I was talking to a guy. I met a guy at a networking event.
Even they might be working towards it, but they haven't realized like it takes these attributes,
yeah,
and
skills that you can all build. All these are all buildable, like sociable.
It's just a matter of getting out there and trying to. Yeah, I was gonna try to fill up that blank when you're talking.
So man, it's all those skills that you can build, man. Everything, isn't that beautiful? You can build any skill.
Yep,
that's beautiful, man. But people don't want to put in the time to do it, and that's okay. That's okay. But just don't expect to reap the benefits of somebody who is. That's all I ask. You can't.
I mean, but honestly, like let's talk to this person who works at McDonald's at $7.25 an hour. Like, they don't know what skills to work on. Like, we told them skills. That's pretty generic. Like, that's general.
That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah. So, like you said, bro, leader. Like, being a leader, that's providing value. You're leading somebody.
Man, that's one of the biggest skills to have. Man.
So, just working on personal development and leading.
So, how do they do that? So, for example, communication is big. We're social creatures.
Huge.
Communication is big. I recommend to anybody How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's the one book that will teach you how to talk to anybody. Like, for example, what would you say to this person right here? And if he works for you and he dropped the camera?
Man, like, you can't get mad at him and yell. You
can't get mad.
Really, like, try not to show up any upsetness. Like, it's just like that's a thing. That ain't a human. Like, it ain't like a person got hurt.
Yeah, it's just
it's a replaceable object. So you just got to know how to approach that situation. Like, it might really hurt your heart to see your camera fall. Like, man, at the end of the day, the world's not ending.
So I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but make it personal. Be like, I made those exact same mistakes. Think about it, like, somebody said this to you, like, I made those exact same mistakes when I was. But what I would recommend is how you're supposed to do it, how you improve.
Yeah, that's like comforting.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, man. You're not supposed to be like, hey, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, bro. Yeah.
You can't be personal about him because he's gonna take it personal. He's gonna do a worse job. He's not gonna improve his job. Like,
and don't put the blame on him or them.
Because think about it, he's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be like, I'm gonna do this perfectly. Like, like.
Yeah, we've all been there and had like the bitchy boss or the rude teacher. Like, yeah, we've all been there, and that person, like, in our head, like, we did not like that. So it's like, it goes back to the golden rule, like, treat people how you want to be treated. And
but if you're a leader, you also can't be very passive.
True.
You have to sit. So it all goes down right there. It's all the training, the work in office, so you can get the culture. Right? You get the culture, you get the standards, right? You get the standards, so think about it like this. If you have the habits of training and working in the office, you got the habits, right?
Yeah.
Of doing that. But guess what? You also got the environment, right? And then when you have those two, one of them is the standards and being kind and integrity. That's the traits and morals. That's all how to build the character.
Yeah, and then after, it's all up to showing up.
Yeah, man, there really is. It's all to the dedication and discipline. But think about it, that's all they have to do. Like, I'm just breaking it down to a science.
Luckily, that was even there. We got to add that up in there.
Yeah,
retention.
So, yeah, man, that's just really how.
But bro, we gotta work on building a culture, bro. Like, we're working on the training right now. We're in the office. We've showed up. We gotta work on this culture for our podcast, bro.
Our culture is.
How would you describe our culture? Like, what does that even mean?
So
how do you interpret that?
So open. We're an open culture. So for example, what's our culture? What do people expect when they come in here? Like, what's our? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of. So what would like our guests expect? They would first of all, great treatment. So let's write this down too.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead. Culture. All right. So what do they expect when they come in? What is our culture? So our culture is within us. It's hardworking, right? This should mean hardworking and consistency. Right. So, of course, we want to be hardworking and consistent, right? To make this podcast happen. That's just between me and you, our culture.
Yeah.
Now, our culture, when we bring a guest in, what would they expect? I mean, I can't just think about this. I had to really think, like deep think. So, what about what would a person expect?
So, are you talking about like our third person guests or like our guests who are watching it?
Both.
So I think something really that sticks out to me is learning. Like, this is really a learning environment.
Yeah, it is. It's a learning.
Even
culture.
us talking about this, like, we're still learning.
Yeah, we're learning just talking about it.
So back to my 4 L's, we're living it and lecturing it right now. Also laughing it too. We had a few laughs, and honestly, we both love what we're doing. Like, bro, time's passing like. I ain't check the time or nothing, and before we know it, I'm gonna have to get up and set the camera back. So, yeah, learning.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a curious culture. Then, right? We're curious.
Yeah, I'm interested in real estate. I'm working on becoming licensed, but you're doing this right now. You've been doing it for how long?
For a little bit over a year.
All right. So, what's your favorite part about it? Like, hands down, favorite part?
Man, there's a lot. I don't have a boss really. You know, I don't have a boss. Everything depends on me. You know.
That freedom, yeah.
The freedom.
Hold on, before you go any farther though, that freedom could be a blessing, but also a curse.
It depends on your personality.
Yes.
If you want, do you need structure? Do you need structure? You can go under a team. A team will kind of help you, but it still depends on you.
Kind of like what Robert Kiyosaki mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, do you need to be told what to do, or like you the leader that could tell people what to do?
Yeah. And so it depends on personality and preference, but man, that and I get to talk to people. Man, I get to build skills, and I'm working. Like I'm working on building skills.
Yeah.
You know, that's big, man. Like I'm doing what I like, man. I like reading. And I used to never like reading. I haven't picked up a book in high school.
I really relate to
that. And I just started reading, man. So how I first started was I was doing just videos. I started remember Valuetainment.
Yeah.
And he changed my whole life, and I was just like, just the knowledge he was giving, like that was interesting. Like Valuetainment, he gives you value and entertainment. You know?
Yeah.
His name is Patrick Bet-David. He came out with a book. Oh my God, I was so excited when it came out, man. I was like, this is the guy who changed my life right here. You know?
Hey, you'll probably get a David. Hey, is he still alive?
Yeah, Patrick Bet-David.
Bro, one day you'll be able to tell him that.
I know. I'll meet him and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So, and then Graham Stephan made me want to become a real estate agent.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Hey, they're on to some. The other day, like I was thinking, like, man, how is this man who he is today? I literally looked up his channel and clicked on his channel and pressed sort videos oldest to newest. So I was watching his first videos and like, of course, like he started off with real estate content, like 10 ways to be a good real estate agent. And like, I don't know if the views just accumulated because of who he is now and just people like me going back and looking, seeing what it was about, or like if that was just a good kick, but like you see his niche and it's real estate, so he was just talking about.
That's his demographic that he was targeting. He just started exploring to young professionals, and he's big on the young professionals. Yeah, young professionals is a big market.
Now here he is with his own iced coffee podcast.
Oh yeah, he got the. Let's see. Oops, sorry, I sent the wrong. It's just a random. I don't know what number that was. It was probably an agent that I called.
Hey, that's the life of an agent. All right. So that's a good transition. So what's the top things you dislike about what you do?
Dislike? That's tough. Oh, paperwork. But I don't have to do paperwork no more.
So that don't count.
Yeah. So,
like if there's anything that just
I try to look at everything positive. Like for example, you have to deal with some negative people, man. You do have to deal with some negative people. Like there's some agents that just be straight up rude. I'm like, hold up, man. Like.
Yeah, I was listening on your phone calls earlier, and like you could kind of hear it in their voice. Like some of them aren't like, even though this is their job and they're used to doing this, they're still able to pick up the phone and somebody similar to them's calling them, and like they still have that energy towards just people calling their phones, and that's basically the entire job is just calling people, reaching out to them.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends, man. You for example, every business has. This business especially, there's like the high producers and then like the low producers. It's really hard to get in the middle, you're one or the other most of the time, right? And so you can usually tell a low producer from a high producer, and you can tell by their mindset, the way they act, the way they talk, the way that they talk negatively. You know, you can usually tell.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's even hard. Like even low producers, a lot of them become high producers fast because to be in this business, it's hard, man. It's hard to like.
You gotta constantly be learning and experiencing and failing and.
I think it's something like I think it's like 78% of them quit in their first 2 years.
That's crazy. But it's crazy how so as we're talking about this it's crazy to see how connected things really are because you talked about the lower. It's hard to be in this middle class. So even if you step back and just look at it from an economical standpoint, like right now the middle class is being destroyed. You're either really rich or you're really poor, and that's a problem that like.
Well, the middle class is being destroyed because they're getting taxed. They're taxing the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
The rich aren't getting taxed, and the poor they're using the middle class tax to help them. Right.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about. Ron Harris. Shout out to Ron Harris. I remember. It would be somewhere in my notes, but how much we get taxed? Like for example, I'm an entrepreneur. Right, if you become a real estate agent, you'll be an entrepreneur, independent contractor. So you get the expenses. So everybody gets their taxes first removed, and then their expenses, and then they buy whatever they want.
Yeah.
Now we're the opposite. We get our expenses first, and then our taxes. Like all my money is tax deducted. I mean, no, all my money, I don't get no taxes taken out. All of it.
That's great that you're able to do that. Like, bro, that's above really. Like, that's probably too far to even touch on this actual episode because like this is kind of above their heads. Like they're probably like, wait, you know how to not pay taxes? You're able to do that? So they're probably gonna be wanting to learn how to do that. So I
hope not to pay taxes for years to come. You know, I mean, Ron Harris, he told me, he's like, I pay taxes now because I have too much money coming.
yeah.
He said I got too much money coming and not enough expenses. He said, but that manager, we're at Panera Bread. He's like, we see that employee right there. I'm like, he probably. He told me like a number. He's like probably like 25,000. Like that person pays more taxes than me.
Dang, yeah, and I hear about that. Like I've heard Graham Stephan like talk about this, but I really look up to these billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
Too, man, why would we hate on them? That's greatness. They're they're striving for greatness. So for example, right now we're gonna get a lot of love. Sorry to interrupt you, man, but that just came into my head. We're gonna get a lot of love, but from local people, and then once we start progressing like really really high, we'll start getting a lot of hate from
oh my gosh, these billionaires not paying their share of taxes.
It's crazy, man.
But like I really look up to them, and like I was researching it, and come to find out they all pay really low percentage of taxes. Like I want to say Jeff Bezos's was pretty low, but Elon Musk's was like 12% or lower, and then like Warren Buffett and
but they still got corporate tax, and they still got corporate tax, capital gains, and their personal tax.
I mean, that's what I like about capital gains though, is because like only if you sell. So as long as they're holding that stock and not selling their gains or real estate or not realizing those gains, like that's one thing about our system that I like is you're not taxed on that until you sell.
Yeah, but man, I was taught this way, the real estate way. I love stocks too, but I want to build my wealth for real estate, and I won't say it here, but I have some big plans. I already told you. The camera. You never know who will take your ideas. But but it all goes down to real estate though. It still be real estate.
Yeah, no, I definitely I agree with you. Real estate should definitely be on the top of your list, because at the end of the day, stocks aren't even like a real thing. Like you can't go buy groceries with stocks. Like you'll have to sell and get the money and realize gains or realize the loss to actually use that. Like they don't actually have value.
They don't cash flow. I mean, kind of, because you get a percentage of a company though. You're like, I'm the 0.0001% of this company. So you're an owner. But I mean, I like physical stuff. I don't know, because Robert, you watched Robert Kiyosaki podcast, right?
Yeah.
He's big into physical things. He's against stocks. Like,
he hates stocks. Yeah, he's always saying
you're like they're making money off you. And I mean, I got silver, Yeah, my uncle called me from Mexico and he was saying that he invested in silver too, and we were talking about like inflation and all types of stuff and how it hedges and how it's God's money. Like what Kiyosaki says, it's God's money.
Yeah,
right? You can't make more of it. You know? So that I have basketball cards. Yeah, do you know how the market works for that basketball card? That's interesting, man.
No, going on.
So for example, I have a PSA 9. So you grade it, it's graded, right? PSA is like the best grading company. I got a PSA 9 Zion, not a rookie card. It's a college card though. But it'll go up, you know. If I have 3 LeBron James rookie cards.
Yeah, imagine LeBron James back in high school. Like those are worth quite a bit.
But you never know because you kind of gamble. It's all investing there. You're gambling.
Yeah,
you never know what can happen.
So that's still basically stocks. So it's just not like the digital stocks, a digital asset.
Physical. Yeah, it'll be physical asset.
Yeah.
That's why I started more physical. Like I have about $2,000 worth of shoes. Dead stock.
Dang.
Just dead stock.
Hey, hold those for a while and up.
I might get the OVOs, like the Drakes. They're like, I think they're like almost $1,000 right now.
Those cool gray 11s are coming out around Christmas, and I wanna go buy me a few pairs and just hold on to them for a little bit.
Yeah, hold on for a year, man. Watch.
And then flip.
I want to do. I might buy some OVOs.
Hey, try it, bro.
Hold them for like.
How many people are you gonna have trying to do the raffle though? Because I know a lot of people are gonna be trying to get those OVOs.
No, I would buy like one like that, high price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know it's a valuable asset, so I wouldn't care paying market value because I'm gonna win more in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about starting from the bottom and like making a big return, which it is. But like this is where I have to focus where my skills lie.
Yeah.
My skills are here. My skills are more patience. I'm big on patience. That's a big skill of mine that I had to develop. Is patience, man.
Hey, no, that we should add that to the culture. Patience.
Yeah, patience, man.
Cause stuff don't just happen overnight. Like, you know, one day we might wake up and everybody sees us. We're successful on the podcast and shoot, we're doing whatever we want with the money we got. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, it didn't happen overnight. Like it's gonna take hard work and dedication. Yeah, and so you gotta be patient.
Yeah, and people be like, how the like even you? I mean, every time you sucked that basketball when you first.
Yeah.
And look, you like it's all patience.
Bro, I remember I would go to the park next to the center. My mom's husband would try to get me to do a layup, and I looked so dumb trying to do a layup. Like I didn't even have that function in my body. Like I was not capable of doing the layup.
And it was just hard work and dedication, man. That got short. Now I don't know if you guys know, but he does like trick layups.
I remember, bro. The next day, I remember I was so embarrassed that I couldn't do a layup that like the day after that, I lived like a mile and a half from the gym. Like that morning I woke up and walked to the gym just to practice before everybody got there. And like that's basically where I started. I would just practice every day and like that patience and determination and practice and that habit and routine, like that's really important to be able to do anything, because we could really do anything. We could reach for the stars, but really like we could reach for the sky, but the sky really don't end when you look at it. Like there's no ceiling in the sky.
You go to space. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you can't limit that's what we're going back to. And they're all aligned. You can't limit your goals.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm striving for greatness, because greatness doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, you can't stop with greatness. That's what I love about this stuff, because they always do that, man. That's what I would do to people too. Yeah. You know, like tell them the good, bad, and the ugly, man, because it is good, bad, and
hey, y'all will find this on Patreon though.
But like you have to choose, like you unconsciously choosing, even though like you're choosing one or the other.
I mean,
every single time.
Like unconsciously though, whether like however you want to look at it, like right now we're in that growth stage. Like it's just common to be in that growth stage in our age group, which could be anywhere from 0 to freaking 30.
Yeah.
And then
not even way bigger than that.
Yeah, honestly, it don't really end, but eventually we get to. So in our growth stage, we're planting that seed, the goals, the desires, just figuring out what we want, and then I don't remember what the next stage is. Let's just make up something. Growth.
Plant the seeds, and then you start doing the work. You start building the habits. You start going through that pain. This pain period. You go through that pain period. Everything like Right now, you went through a pain period with this.
Yeah.
Cause you're all scared and like thinking that that's the pain period.
I had to water it. I had to water it to actually, like, I had to water the seed.
Yeah, so that's a pain period, man. And that's nervous. That's what everything. So this I'm more. I usually talk more, so like it was a little bit at first. I was like, "Is a camera right in front of me talking?"
Yeah.
But that's beautiful. Though. I love the pain period because that really shows you your dedication. It always does. So like that's why I always like starting new stuff and going through that pain period again.
So then we could enjoy our harvest.
Yep.
And Jim Rohn, I keep always saying Ron. His name would sound better, Jim Rohn, but Jim Rohn. That's like he would always bring up that farmer analogy. Like life is really about planting that seed, watering the plant, and then enjoying the harvest.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now, right here.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm leaving. You may be the last one here.
Oh yeah, I'll lock up and everything.
Okay, you got the codes for all that?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Aside from the business and the money part of it, like we got to eat every day. So if you are a person working at McDonald's making $7.25, maybe those few vegetables, if any, like if you're just planting some vegetables, like that's a free way to get food and like cut your expenses down.
And you're building skills.
Yeah.
Because you got to know how to do this.
Yeah.
So it all goes down to building them skills. I have a question for you. If we could do this full time, would you do it?
For sure.
I would do it.
That's really one of my goals, bro, is to do this full time.